He described, there's a sort of a big wound in the back of her head. The bolt, he said, was red and black and was made of metal, and she's now scared to even go outside.
A square in East London has seen 2 crossbow attacks in 10 days. A woman and a man have both been injured in what seem like completely random attacks. So far, no one knows who carried them out. One resident of Arnold Circus in Shoreditch said the attacks felt like the work of a sniper. We're joined now by Nick Ellaby, Talk TV's reporter, who is on the scene. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Kate.
But what's going on there? I mean, it's almost unbelievable. There've been these 2 attacks, and yet people are still expected to walk around. Is there a sense of fear in that area where you are at the moment?
Yeah, certainly a sense of fear. I mean, I've been on the scene for the last few hours, and I've been speaking to lots of residents. One told me that people are totally freaked out and shocked, and then another, a neighbour of that first victim, said that kids are sleeping with their parents at the moment because they're worried that they could be next. The attacker or attackers still on the loose. The 2 victims you described have actually come out of hospital. Their injuries have been described as not life-changing or life-threatening. Those 2 attacks, the first was at 7:44 p.m. on the 4th of March. That was a Monday evening. 44-year-old mother of 2, Nazarene Casley, was hit in the back of the head behind the right ear with a metal bolt. And actually, we just bumped into her husband now, who's about to take his son to school. And we were asking whether people knew anything, how they felt. And we bumped into him. He's actually spoken to the Times already over the weekend, a guy called Clifton Casley. And he described, there's a sort of a big wound in the back of her head. The bolt, he said, was red and black and was made of metal, and she's now scared to even go outside. And then the second attack, 10 days later, was on a roundabout. I know you can see us, but there's a roundabout here in the middle called Arnold Circus, which is a kind of community garden. And the second attack on a Thursday evening, the 14th of March, at 7:27 p.m, so a similar time, a man who was 20 was hit in the neck. And that's when the residents said police then swarmed the area. But there's a feeling of a perceived lack of action by police in that 10 days from the first attack to the second, and also the local council as well. So I was speaking to residents here who say that the council cleaners arrived on the 5th of March, the Tuesday morning, the night after the first attack, for work as normal, and had no idea what had happened. People here sort of tell me that, like I said, lots of kids here living in this area who are now sleeping with their parents because they're worried.
Yeah.
There are 2 schools on this roundabout. There's a primary school over here. We've already seen people taking their kids to school. And also Clifton Casley, the husband of that first victim, putting up posters himself describing that first attack and offering a cash reward for anyone who can help find the attacker or attackers, because there's an absolute mistrust in the police and what's going on. I have actually asked the police for some more information. They still haven't got back to me, the Metropolitan Police, but they're asking people to be vigilant. They're going through CCTV at the moment. They say there are significant efforts to try and find out who caused this. They're progressing lines of inquiry, but they're also keen to hear from the local community. So still looking for leads themselves, Kate.
I mean, Nick, it sounds mad that the police are still looking for leads, because obviously, 2 people very nearly lost their lives. I can see behind you that it looks like that parked area is now cordoned off. Are people still able to go there? And do they have any idea at all whether this person with a crossbow is actually living where you are right now?
Well, obviously people are speculating. This area was cordoned off. So after Thursday the 14th, after that second attack, there was a huge amount of cordoning off. But here and now, it's actually all now open. I think this is just left because there's actually parking spaces inside this gate at the moment. But all the police tape and everything else has been removed. We were here yesterday afternoon and again this morning. Saw a few officers on patrol yesterday. And then, as you can see, we've got all these windows around here. People are speculating that, yes, it could be someone who lives here. So there's lots of flats around here. It was an old council estate. Half of those flats have been sold on, some of them going for nearly £750,000, and then half still council flats as well. But Clifton and Nazarene Casley, that mother of 2, I think they have actually asked the council to be moved away because they're scared about living around here. People saying they're actually rerouting some of their journeys to work. And also another resident told us that people are not going into this garden anymore on the bandstand at the top on the roundabout. They're actually huddling in corners because, yes, they are concerned that these bolts could have come from a window, and actually the neighbour of the first victim said that the bolt that she saw sticking out of this woman's head was angled up, leading her to believe that it had come from above somewhere. Whether that came from up on the roundabout or indeed someone's window here on the roundabout, then yeah, people can only speculate at this stage, and the police don't seem to have much to go on either.